My name is Barry Allen. And I am the fastest man alive.
Listen to me. There's a war coming. A terrible war.
You have failed this city.
Once again to the Fandom Zone podcast. I'm Charles Skaggs. You might be able to hear of the sputtering music. And as with me as always is the ever charming, ever delightful, ever medicated Karen Lindsay.
Hello. Yes, everyone, I must apologize in advance because I am having back issues and they will not be going away for the foreseeable future. So, and Captain Cold is making an appearance with us this week. So I was just rubbing my arms as he was making an appearance on camera.
Getting a little chilly, are we?
I was feeling a little chilly.
Ice to see you.
Oh, nice. Thank
that's
you.
Mr. Freeze, but you know.
Yeah, still.
Lame Mr. Freeze puns.
that movie
You're
was
as cold
terrible.
as ice.
I'm willing to sacrifice my love. Foreigner.
Yep.
I love
So
Foreigner.
as you can see, I've tracked down the Captain Cold Funko Pop figure. So I have all the Flash stuff
Nice.
from the TV show now, so I'm happy about that.
Very nice.
All the ones I wanted.
I'm very glad.
Hopefully they will come out with more because we need a Cisco, we need a Caitlin.
Yes.
You know.
Is there a Harrison Wells?
We need a Gorilla Grodd, we need the Trickster, we need all of them.
Sure.
So, yeah, well, I mean, there's no Harrison Wells. There's
but there should be a Harrison
Reverse
Wells.
Flash, but yeah.
Like in his little wheelchair. That would be awesome. Is there an Iris? Is there a Joe?
Nope. Just there was only 5 of them.
Eddie Fawn?
There's like the Flash without his mask on. So.
Okay. That's not fair.
And then Captain Cold without his mask on, which is kind of weird. It's
no.
I wouldn't have picked those 2. I would just there's all these other ones you need to do.
Should have done Iris at the very least.
Right.
Yeah.
But
hopefully
people aren't bored with all this toy talk. So.
No.
I apologize.
I've heard a couple people say that they enjoy listening to what we.
We're gonna have to do some screenshots or something with me with the Funko figures.
Well, if you want to hold them up, hold on a minute.
All right. Well, we'll take a live photo.
Give me a sec. Hold them up.
Hopefully, it won't look too dorky.
No, up further.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Got it.
Got it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, it didn't look too.
Nope, you looked great.
All right. You're a good liar.
Charles and toys. Oh, Flash.
Yep.
Toys.
There you go. Maybe we'll throw that up on the Facebook page.
In fact, I will. You looked great.
No. So you can see how hideous I look. All right. So we only have 2 shows to talk about this week. So that's probably why we're kind of filling a little time with talking about toys, because God knows we need to hit the 90-minute mark because we can't keep this thing under an hour to save our lives, even with just 2 shows. So we've already digressed about that. All right. So this week we're going to talk about iZombie and Daredevil, and that's pretty much it.
That's right.
But we will have some...
and a few little things.
Yeah, a few little things, because we're going to talk about some posts we've had on Facebook. So thanks to everybody who posted on the Facebook page. And, so we could use a few more posts to the Twitter account at Fandom Zone Cast.
Sure.
Always could use those. So do you want to talk about Daredevil first or iZombie?
Your choice.
My choice?
You're driving the bus today.
Okay. Well, let's go with Daredevil.
Okay, let's do.
Okay. because this was a pretty interesting episode. Shadows in the Glass, written by Stephen S. DeKnight, the season 1 showrunner, no longer the showrunner. Directed by Steven Surgic. And this episode is essentially the origin of the Kingpin, sort of.
Yep.
And a good exploration into his background and why he's so messed up.
Yeah. And the painting.
Yeah. We finally get, like I said, I teased earlier, we do get the explanation for why he was really into that boring painting.
Right.
Now we know why, don't we?
Yeah, we sure do.
And it's kind of dark.
It's really dark.
Considering it's one of the first things he wakes up and looks at in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is reminded of why he is the way he is.
And we find out, we start off the episode with Wilson Fisk doing his normal morning routine of waking up from horrible nightmares to stare at his painting that he got from Vanessa.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of white on white on off-white painting.
Right. And there's some gray in it.
Yeah, little bits of, it looks sort of like a wall, wouldn't you say?
Yes, it looks like a wall treatment. That's right.
So he does that for a little while. He stares at the painting. Then he goes to make an omelet. And he picks out a nice dark dress shirt for himself.
While listening to opera.
Yeah, while listening to opera. And he wears picks out a nice dark suit. Puts on his cufflinks. Sees himself in the mirror as a bloody kid, or a kid covered in blood.
Uh-huh.
The usual.
The usual everyday routine, yep. It's my usual routine.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but it's mine.
You wake up with seeing yourself as a kid.
As a little boy covered in blood, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I put on a dark suit and I pick out my cufflinks and
yep.
I make myself an omelet and all that stuff. Yeah.
So, contrast on that, Matt wakes up in a completely trashed apartment.
Yeah.
Covered in cuts and blood from his previous fight with Stick, and
yep.
He's all like, "Oh, my poor little sweet ice cream sandwich friendship bracelet."
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah. So he gets dressed. He goes into the office, going, "Ow, ow, 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 ow."
Yeah. And he's got his little butterfly bandages on his eye.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kind of like, a fighter would have after being in the ring, that little...
Like his dad.
Cut bandage, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was deliberate.
Mm-hmm. They're called butterfly bandages, by the way.
I did not know that.
Okay, they are.
See, you learn something every day on the Phantom Zone podcast.
Yeah, because they have a little thin part in the middle, and then they widen on both sides. So they're like a butterfly.
So it's like
wing.
butterfly. Got it. Makes sense. Karen and Foggy finally tell Matt that, oh, by the way, we've been trying to bring down the Kingpin.
Mm-hmm.
And we've brought in Ben Urich from the Daily Bulletin.
Mm-hmm. And they discuss the masked man in front of him.
The masked menace.
Right. And they also tell him that they have differing opinions on him.
Mm-hmm. Karen's still wanting to give him more of the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
While Foggy is not so complimentative.
Right. And complimentary, yeah.
I just made a new word, complimentative.
I like that word, actually. It's very good. It actually makes a lot of sense.
I'm complimentative.
And Matt is quite thoughtful about it because I think he takes that to mean that's kind of how the city feels about him.
Right.
Like, there's a portion of the city that feels the way Karen does, and there's a portion that feels the way Foggy does. And then, of course, there's a portion of the city that just outright hates him.
Right. Especially the criminals, but that's understandable.
Mostly the criminals. Because there seems to be a lot of criminals.
That's Hell's Kitchen, not a nice place.
Right.
Especially on Daredevil. Although in real life, it's more upscale now.
Yes, it's been gentrified.
Yeah, exactly.
But
all the yuppies moved in or something.
Yeah. Sure, hipsters.
Yeah.
And I think he finds it interesting to hear their opinions and also kind of scary because he realizes that at some point they're probably going to find out it's him.
Right. But they're kind of like his polling data on the pulse of Hell's Kitchen at the moment.
Right.
And it's not looking good for him.
No, it's not. Because even Karen is iffy.
Yeah. Yeah. And
you
then
know, she's like, well, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but there's still
she's
a
like
dot,
his biggest
dot, dot.
supporter. So yeah,
Right.
it's not good.
Right.
Now Matt kind of gets on their cases about like, hey, you guys are out of your league. And then he's like, well, if you're gonna do this, you're gonna have to stay within the law because I always do.
Right.
Oh, whoops! Did I say that? No, I didn't.
Right.
Sorry, I was just thinking out loud.
Right.
Pay no attention to me doing like vigilante activities at night. But yeah.
Pay no attention to the man in the mask.
Yeah, I'm not a hypocrite. No, not at all. So yeah, he's like, okay, you can only do that. Keep going with your investigations with Uric if you stay within the law.
Right.
Because
and he's already had a discussion with them about
right
the man in the mask, because he said that they'd have to take him on as a client if he came to them, because he deserves representation too. And he got the first taste of their ire at that point.
And wouldn't it be interesting to see how Matt and Foggy interrogated
Matt
the man in the mask? Matt's like starts talking. He's like, "Oh wait! I need to go out and get a drink of water." And he goes, leaves the room, comes back as Daredevil, sits down and answers some questions. And he's like, "Oh, I gotta go to the bathroom." Okay, leaves and comes back, and then he changes again back to Matt Murdock, and he sits down.
Somehow, I don't think that's what's going to be happening. This is not Three's Company.
And then Foggy's like, "Why are you sweating so much? You're."
Come and knock on our door. No, this is not a sitcom.
And then Matt accidentally walks in, like he gets confused at one point, and he's in his suit, his legal clothes, but he still has the black mask around his face.
Whoops! He takes it off. No, that is not going to happen.
Yeah.
Right?
But wouldn't it be hilarious if it did?
Sure.
Yeah, why not? The wacky sitcom. Nelson coming up next on Nelson and Murdoch.
That would be like if Keith Geffen wrote
yeah,
Daredevil.
with special guest appearance by Ambush Bug
and Lobo.
Yeah.
Sorry, crossing.
Yeah, I know. We're crossing the streams.
That's
crossing
right.
The streams
because that's
bad.
DC.
Yeah,
but still,
it's bad. Fisk has a little meeting with Japanese crime lord Nobu, not to be confused with the restaurant.
That's right. I've never been to Nobu.
I've never been to Nobu either. It's a little over my price range.
Yeah, me too. It's way over my price range.
Although Lori and I did go to a Gordon Ramsay restaurant while we were out in Vegas.
Ooh,
yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah,
was it good?
It was good. I mean, it's basically like his burger joint out there.
Cool.
And in one of the casinos, and yeah, it was pretty good.
Nice,
not bad. Yeah, Nobu's not happy with Fisk. He's really not happy that Stick killed Black Sky.
Right.
Because that was all part of his plan that we will have no explanation of until probably the Defenders or maybe season 2. Who knows?
Right.
But he blames Fisk because he was supposed to offer protection. So right there, he's like another like kingpin fail.
Right.
And so that triggers the first of the flashbacks this week, where we go back to Wilson's childhood and find out that he's got a really jerky father.
Big time.
Bill Fisk, this really verbally and physically abusive husband and father.
He's the worst.
He thinks he wants to be so bad to be a big shot and matter.
Right.
So he's running for the spot in city council. That he's financing his campaign by going to a loan shark, which always goes well.
Not
especially in New York.
Right.
He's like
because he thinks he's above it. He thinks that he will be able to, he's better than all the other guys that do this because he'll be able to get out of it easily.
Right.
That, he'll win. So
yeah. And he's going to do good by the city.
Right. So
Which
he'll have
sounds
the
a-
money back right away.
Which sounds a little bit like grown-up Wilson Fisk.
Yep, it sure does.
So a little echoing there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill's like verbally abusing his wife, and we see that some nasty looking bruises on her arms, which kind of implies that yes, he's been physically abusing her as well.
Yep.
Not a good situation.
I'm assuming more as well, which we
Yeah.
don't see, which is terrible.
Yeah, and he always puts his wife down right in front of his kid.
Right.
So yeah, not a good guy.
No, not a good guy.
Yeah. So meanwhile, back in the present,
Yeah.
Fisk is told, well, he's talking on the phone to his best girl, Vanessa. So he's like, no, you get off the phone. No, you get off the phone.
You get off the phone first. No, you hang up first.
You-
No, you.
Yeah.
No, you.
So then he gets a call interrupting him saying, oh, by the way, the Blake, the dirty cop that helped frame Daredevil, he's suddenly out of his coma now.
Yeah. That
And
could be bad.
yeah, so he could possibly spill the beans that he framed Daredevil
Right.
and could expose Fisk.
Right.
So that's not good. So he decides to pay a little visit to Detective Blake's partner Hoffman.
That's right.
And in a very cool scene, he asks Hoffman how much years of knowing Blake are worth in dollars.
That's right. Because they weren't just partners, they were friends. They grew up together and
Right.
all this other stuff. And how much is
Yeah,
the friendship worth versus how many dollars will he take to go kill his friend?
Exactly. So what's that worth to you? That's
I would have liked to known how much that was worth. I'm guessing probably like 250 grand. What do you think?
maybe he didn't really like him all that much secretly, so it was like $2 and a packet of ho-hos or something.
Do you think?
I don't know.
Ho-hos. Yeah, ho-hos are good.
Ding dongs, maybe.
No, ho-hos are better.
Ho-hos better ding
Yeah,
dongs.
yeah.
See, I'm a Twinkie guy.
Ho-hos are wrapped up. Oh no, you gotta have the chocolate.
Nah, see, I'm not as big on chocolate.
Well,
I mean, I eat chocolate, like I eat Hershey bars and Kit Kats and all that, but
yeah.
I'm not as big on it.
Mm.
So
I don't like the candy bar chocolate, but I like the ho-ho chocolate. That's
okay.
That's good.
Okay.
That's good stuff.
Does it have like the fudge covering
It has the it's like a
or chocolate syrup?
film covering. You know what I mean? It flakes off.
Okay. Got it.
It's cake.
It's coated in chocolate.
Right.
On top of chocolate cake.
Right.
Got it.
Mm. But it's also got chocolate rolled up in it. It's like a jelly roll kind of thing. So it's got that same covering rolled up in it. And
So
it
this
has white, like the stuff inside a Twinkie also.
So this impending diabetic coma has been brought to you by the Fandom Zone podcast.
So I'm guessing he got at least 10 packs of ding dongs. Plus $100 grand.
Wait, well, ho-hos.
Oh, ho-hos, sorry. Ho-hos.
You said ho-hos are better
ho-hos.
than ding.
And maybe some ding dongs. Maybe as well.
As a chaser.
And they have to be hostess, no little Debbies.
Yeah.
Ugh, because
none of that, like peon stuff. No.
Hostess, top shelf.
Top shelf, yes. Hoffman shows up at the hospital with a meatball sub and a poison syringe.
See? I mean, food.
That's always, like, hey, I brought a sub.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing he thought ahead because he knew that he'd get searched. And he did. He got searched. And
but you're not going to search the sandwich, are you?
No, because it's a meatball sub.
Right.
So he gets let in. And I think it's funny because the dude was still asleep.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, oh, I was hoping it would, spark something, the meatball sub. Okay. Really, though? Would you just let him in with the meatball sub into a hospital room?
Maybe if you knew the guy and you trusted the guy because he was a cop.
Maybe. I
you let it
guess.
slide a little bit. You're not as inclined to completely frisk him.
Yeah, I guess so.
Especially when like half the force is on the take to the Kingpin anyway.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
That way they could say, "Oh, we searched it.
Yeah.
Didn't find anything." So
if my husband had brought a meatball sub into the hospital when I was in there, oh man, there would have been hell to pay. Those nurses.
Especially with a poison syringe. That would have been bad.
Well, yeah, that
Yeah.
goes without saying, but you know,
Right.
the meatball sub would have put it right over the top of
Yeah.
getting in trouble. So
Get the wagging finger.
big time.
Yeah, that's all right. So yeah,
And chips, forget about it.
oh, that's right out.
It's right out.
Matt arrives too late to stop the syringing.
Yeah.
Is that even a verb? I don't know, syringing. And of course, he ends up getting blamed for the death because it's Matt.
Yep.
And he's not really good at this at
No,
this point.
he's not.
He's getting blamed for everything.
Yeah, he shows up at the wrong time. He's
Yeah.
at the wrong place at the wrong time. Always.
Mhm. Well,
I know.
he's still young at this.
But he does manage to, he tells the guy, well, you have to let me know what's going on. You are going to die, but, tell me what I need to know. And he gets the info out of him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's that.
Right.
But, 6 of one.
Half a dozen of the other, yeah.
Right. Half of one, 6 a dozen of the other, as I like to say.
So we flash back to go back to lovely,
Fisks.
charming Bill Fisk, who takes Wilson to go confront a local bully who ripped down his campaign posters.
Man, that bully is full of piss and vinegar.
Well, yeah, because he's already just taking glass bottles out of the trash and whacking them with a baseball bat.
Right.
And doing it properly with a wooden bat, at least. So credit there.
Okay. Let's
I'm
not
sorry.
make fun of my bat, please.
I'm Louisville Slugger all the way. Wood.
I know you are.
Wood over aluminum.
I'm going to find my aluminum bat and show it to you.
You get a much better crack with that wooden bat.
Well, sure. It sounds better.
That's the way it was intended.
All right.
So,
whatever you say. I'm a girl, though, so.
You went ping.
Mine is a cooler color. It's like a cobalt blue. It's awesome.
So Bill starts hitting the kid.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the kid is underestimating Bill.
Yeah.
He figures, this pot-bellied guy, he's not going to do anything to me.
Well, he kind of turns and he bops Bill in the head with a bat.
Yeah.
And that kind of sets Bill off. Then he starts
sets him off? Hell yeah, it does.
Yeah. Because it probably takes absolutely nothing to set Bill off.
Right.
So he starts wailing on the guy. And then he's like, okay, you, Wilson, kick him.
Yeah.
Wilson's like, what?
Yeah.
Kick him. So he kicks him.
Uh-huh.
He goes, kick him again.
Yeah.
Don't
stop kicking.
Kick him. Kick him. Kick him again. Kick
right.
him. So Wilson
Keep
just
kicking
over
him.
and over, kicking him and kicking him and kicking him.
Yep.
And it's a very powerful scene.
It is.
And,
which comes back to the forefront of Wilson's mind a little later on.
Yeah. Well, you're thinking of I immediately thought of what's his name getting his head smashed in the door.
Well, sure. But I mean, it's even more immediate to the young Wilson as well.
Yes, which we will discuss here shortly.
Yeah, I think that speaks to his temper in general as well. It's where he learned that overdoing something is doing it right.
Mm-hmm. So do you think that, yeah, exactly. So do you think that he was born with this rage, or do you think that his father instilled that in him?
Yes.
Both.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
I think it was definitely a temperament.
That's all the above. Yeah.
But he learned it.
Yeah.
And again, I'm watching this as we go, and you've seen it, so you're going to make fun of me for this. No, but I'm assuming he doesn't treat women very well, Wilson.
He treats Vanessa like gold.
Okay. Through the whole thing?
Through the whole thing,
okay,
yeah.
Okay. But, Kingpin...
Yeah.
If she were to do something to him, he wouldn't think twice.
Well, if you've read the comics, and this is where we have, this is where we be comic snobs and kind of spoil stuff.
Yeah.
But in the comics, eventually Kingpin and Vanessa have a little falling out.
Uh-huh.
And, they end up separating. And then Vanessa kind of becomes her own bit of a crime lord.
So. And
Yeah.
hilarity
A
ensues.
power and is, like as Kingpin falls, she's still out there and she's still a player.
I see.
So,
So they're enemies.
well, I wouldn't say they're enemies, but like he still cares about her, but she realizes she can't be with him.
Okay.
It's more like I can't deal with this anymore. I got to leave.
All right.
So even though he's still hung up on her,
All right.
wants her.
And you notice he does also take to heart what his father says in that, you don't get respect until you give respect.
Right.
At least he has that little nugget from his father that he keeps.
Yeah, right.
Because you can see him treating his business associates like that until he feels like they're not useful to him anymore.
Exactly. Then it's like, okay, I don't need you anymore.
Right. But you saw that in this episode with, I can't remember her name, but the Japanese woman.
Madame Gao.
Thank you.
Chinese. Yeah,
is she Chinese? I'm sorry.
She's Chinese, and then Nobu is Japanese.
Okay. So with Madame Gao, he treats her with respect, and she treats him with grudging respect.
Right. She treats him with respect as long as he's not messing up.
Right.
And he's messing up, so therefore she's just like,
Right. It's a surface respect.
Yeah, because they Madame Gao just shows up at Wilson's house.
Mm-hmm.
And she ultimately quickly reveals that, oh yeah, by the way, I know English. I've known English.
Right. And you know how to speak my language.
Yeah. Fisk tells that, or reveals that he knows Chinese.
Right.
And meanwhile, you've got Wesley over on the side just going, oh, come on.
Right. Then why was I here this whole time?
Exactly. You just completely invalidated everything I've done as a translator.
Right.
Thanks, guys.
Then why'd you need me? Yeah. And so he tells him.
That was kind of hilarious because he kind of rolls his eyes.
I know.
He's like, really?
Run along now.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? So
they have their conversation, which I enjoyed watching the interplay between the two of them.
Yeah, those two are very fascinating because go ahead.
No, I was not really.
Okay, I thought you were heading into something.
No, I mean I was, but it wasn't anything important. Just he makes her tea.
Right.
And she says I didn't come for the tea, but she drinks it anyway. And
she
again,
she appreciates the gestures.
Right. And again, it's kind of a respect thing.
Mm-hmm.
The whole interchange is, it's a surface respect.
It's politeness.
Yeah. I don't think they actually really,
mm-hmm.
They don't have a deep respect for each other.
No, it's all surface.
All surface.
Yeah.
And she is very condescending to him through this whole thing. She not only does she reveal that she's on to him completely.
Yeah.
I know you speak my language, and I have been able to understand everything you've said in English this whole time. I know where you live, which means you've gotten sloppy.
Yeah.
This is your castle, and you're not. Your whole thing is privacy, and I know where you live. So
and I could just walk right in here and do you at any moment.
Right. Yeah. So you might want to rethink that sort of thing. And she says, as far as this goes, our partnership, if you don't tighten things up, I'm just going to deal with the other two guys without you in the middle.
Right.
And, that's how their whole interchange goes. And then her parting shot is, hey, thanks for the tea. And off she goes.
So she does the biatch move.
Right. Right. 2 snaps up and out she goes. Drops the mic. Exactly.
I'm out.
It was just fascinating to see him so off center for that whole conversation.
Right. And then he gets angry.
Oh, yes, he does.
He gets so angry because he upends the table.
Yes.
This big dinner table that he's got in a big, nice, beautiful dining table.
Right.
Upends it.
Yeah.
And he's Wilson smash.
He wasn't in control of the situation. And he is definitely alpha. I mean, that's his whole thing, is having control of his situation. He wants to know what's going to happen the minute he steps into a situation. And he was taken off guard the minute she walked into the room.
Yeah, he's very type A personality.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that she was there at all
Right.
set him off.
Now, Wesley, of course, sees this.
Mhm.
And he's like, I need to go take care of something. I'll be back. So what he ends up doing is he brings Vanessa to him because he knows that Vanessa is a calming influence on him
Yep.
and talk him off the ledge.
Yep. And Fisk still tries to push her away,
Right.
but she won't let him.
She wears him down. She's the only one who he can get to he'll listen to her.
Right. Right.
You know, even despite all this rage.
Right. And I think it's interesting. We've been seeing little pieces of his past
Mm-hmm.
throughout this episode, but once she comes into the picture, he tells her the story of
Mm-hmm.
his father. So we get the whole story once she
Right.
comes into the picture.
Right.
And it's under the guise of him saying, you won't like me once you know this about me. And to his surprise, she just says, well, let's find out.
Yep.
And he tells her, and she's still there in the morning. So,
Yep. I guess it
yeah.
worked. Or I guess she's cool with it.
And again, they show the difference between his morning before Vanessa shows up and his morning after Vanessa shows up, which is, he still wakes up staring at the painting, but she's there beside him, and,
And then she goes and picks out she picks out a brighter suit,
right,
and a brighter, dress shirt,
right, and different cufflinks, not his dad's cufflinks,
right, so that he can have a more telegenic presence,
right,
which we find out later on,
right.
But what he tells her, and we finally get the major act of this flashback sequence.
Mm-hmm.
Is we find out that Bill, of course, loses the election for city council.
Right.
So he's all mad.
Right.
And
he's about to go off and pay the piper, even though he doesn't have the money.
Right. But then his wife says something that sets him off.
Which is, why did you go to the loan shark?
Right.
That's what she says, and it sets him off. Yeah.
Yeah. So he tells Wilson to stare at the wall.
Which looks remarkably like the painting.
So essentially, and there's a big emphasis on the wall where, you finally get the connection that the painting that he got from Vanessa reminds him of this moment where he stares at the wall.
Right. While his father is beating his mother.
Right. Yeah.
Behind him.
Because Bill takes off his belt. He's ready to do the douchebaggy thing of whipping his wife with his belt.
Probably for the umpteenth time.
Right, exactly.
Right. But this time, he's not going to take it anymore.
No. Wilson sees a hammer that he was using earlier to help make campaign posters or something.
Yep.
And he gets ready to go hammer time.
You can't touch this.
That's right.
So he whacks his dad over the head. Back of the head, and his dad kind of stands there for a moment
and then falls
and Wilson just keeps whacking him and whacking him and whacking him, and as he does this, and this is the moment how traumatized he was from earlier, because he's telling his dad, and he keeps kicking him and keep kicking him, as he bludgeons his dad over and over the head with that hammer.
Right. He's pretty much telling his dad, why did you make me kick that guy over and over again?
Yeah.
So
it's just it's this complete, as a viewer, it's like, holy crap.
Right.
Moment.
And then it ends with him in the present day kind of finishing the story.
Yeah.
It segues into, his mother saying, get me the saw. They cut his father up. They put him into garbage bags, and apparently they carry a piece of his father down to the lake or the river every day and deposit it. And they figure since this loan shark was gonna take him out at some point anyway, that's how he died, and so they never really
right.
give it two thoughts.
So, needless to say, this was not a good day for young Wilson Fisk.
Or it was a good day.
Well, and it was good in the sense that he got rid of his dad.
Right.
Which dad needed to go.
It was a traumatic day for him.
But the fact that it's like, yeah, it was a very traumatizing day because,
Right.
not only does he kill his dad, his mom helps him chop his dad up.
Right.
To get rid of the body.
Right.
And his mom is very matter of fact about it. She just she's been thinking about this forever.
Right.
She's just like she's probably like had the plan in her head.
Right. And
she just never had the moment.
This is also how he looks when he looks in the mirror, the bloody boy.
Mm-hmm.
This is how he looks. Is that boy
so
after
every time
he kills his dad?
Boy, he's remembering that moment.
Right after he kills his dad. And the thing is, I do think that it's not. He's not thinking of this day as the worst day of his life.
No.
I honestly don't think he's thinking of it as the worst day of his life. I think he thinks of it as a traumatizing thing.
It's a transformative moment.
As something that changed his life, yes. But I think he's thinking that it saved his mother's life.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he thinks of it as his heroic day.
So at this point, does he really connect violence with protection?
Yes, with heroism.
So if he's violent, he can save people.
Correct.
Like his mother.
Correct.
So by being violent in Hell's Kitchen, he's saving the city.
Right.
Right.
And Hell's Kitchen is his mother. Hell's Kitchen is what birthed him.
Yeah.
So he's saving Hell's Kitchen by, scarring it with fire, with damage, with, whatever.
Yeah, you could psychoanalyze this stuff for days.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think this is his hero moment.
Mm-hmm.
To him at least.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and again, he does think of it as a bit tragic because it's his father.
Right.
But I don't think he sees it as a mistake at all.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yep. So Daredevil, meanwhile, remember him, Daredevil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kingpin is much more fascinating in this episode, though.
Well, yeah. I mean, you got to have the showcase episode, and this was Vincent D'Onofrio did a really great job in this episode.
He's amazing in this episode.
I'll be very surprised if he doesn't at least get an Emmy nom.
Yeah, I hope so.
Mean, he should.
If they consider this,
I mean, the Emmys are pretty much snobs, so they may not. It's a superhero show. How stupid.
Well, they do consider Orange is the New Black every year.
Yeah. So maybe being on Netflix, that might give it a little more
credibility. A little more cachet, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Who knows?
Hopefully, the show deserves it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Daredevil meets with Ben Urich, and Daredevil fills Ben in on Leland Owsley, and gives him, some information to help expose Fisk.
Mm-hmm.
So Ben goes home, starts typing away.
The thing is, he tells him that Fisk is hiding, and the way to
expose him.
Well, the way to get him is to bring him out into the light, and that's his Achilles heel is that if we bring him into the light, that'll damage him. But
yeah, because as Ben's typing up this letter or article, and it's going to be a really scathing one.
Right.
What happens,
about him hiding in the shadows and all this? Yeah.
So what happens is Ben's watching TV. And who's on the TV?
Fisk making a statement talking about fixing Hell's Kitchen and
conference. Yeah,
right. Mm-hmm. And it ruins everything.
And Vanessa's by his side, like he's being like the concerned public citizen.
Yep. And essentially, he's doing what his father couldn't.
Right.
This is his informal way of being a councilman.
Right.
He's being the spokesperson for Hell's Kitchen at this point, and she's his first lady.
Right. So he's projecting this real beneficiary public image.
Right.
Everybody.
Right. An alderman. sort
Yeah.
of
So Ben's just watching this going, really?
crap.
So instead of saving the article, which I don't know why he doesn't just save it, he deletes the entire article.
I know. Duh.
It's like, at least save it so you don't have
Right.
to type it over again.
Just shut the computer down.
Yep. So,
You dummy.
and meanwhile, Matt's watching this going, oh, come on, really?
Right.
And he's just like, ah.
Well, he's listening to it.
Yeah, well, that's true. Good point.
Sorry.
Yes. No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
You gotta set me straight. He's listening to it.
Yeah. I know it's easy to forget sometimes.
He's getting the flashy heat images off the tubes.
That's right.
I don't know. So yeah.
And he's not happy about it either.
Maybe it's a really bright LED TV. You could watch it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
There's that. Yeah.
So yeah. So he gets angry.
He's
and
not
it's-
happy about it either.
It's
Yeah.
just like because Fisk has once again gotten the upper hand on him.
Yep. And he's really bad at this superhero thing.
So far, he is. Yep.
Yeah. Really bad at it.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And meanwhile, somewhere else in Gotham City, Batman is pointing and laughing at him.
That's right. You low rent me.
So what did you end up giving this episode?
I gave it 8 pairs of cufflinks.
And I gave this one 9 out of 10 upturned dinner tables.
Very nice. It was a great episode.
It was a great episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we only have 5 more to go.
Yeah. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I think I'm
that's
going to
good.
watch the next one late tonight. Because
Okay.
I got Orphan Black still to go tonight.
Yeah. And the yeah, that's right. We got Orphan, both of us have Orphan Black because you can tell we're recording on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Orphan,
Sorry.
sorry. I got to see Allison and Donnie dancing on their bed again.
Yeah. Throwing money.
Making it rain.
Listening to the raps music.
Yeah, the raps. Nice.
Archer.
Exactly. That sounds like something Mallory would say.
That is what
Or-
Mallory
oh,
said.
is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't. All right. Those kids are listening to the raps.
Yep.
Okay. So now we're to move on to iZombie.
Yes. I'm going to ask you lots of questions during this one.
Okay. Well, you
I understood this episode, but I
Yeah.
want to get your take on some of the stuff in this episode.
okay? Fire
So-
away.
First of all, Astroburger?
Yeah. Okay.
WTF?
I have no idea
Okay.
where that story title came from.
Okay, good.
I'm as lost as you are.
Okay, good.
I think that maybe now this episode was written by Kit Boss.
Well, okay, wait a minute. I
Yeah.
get it. It's the astronaut. They're making food out of it.
Right.
Okay. That just now came to me. Just now.
That was good because I was totally lost on that, but you're right.
Yeah, but they weren't making hamburgers. So
Yeah, and it wasn't really central to the plot.
No,
so I
not
kinda-
at all.
It just went right
Yeah.
over my head.
Me too.
So yeah, this is written by Kit Boss, who wrote one of the better episodes earlier in the season
Yeah.
with really sharp dialogue. So
Yeah.
this episode is no different. Some really good lines in this episode.
Yeah.
And this is directed by Michael Fields.
And did you ever watch the series Wonder Falls?
No, but I understand it's a lot like that.
Yes, you need to watch it. It's a Brian Fuller show.
Well, that's gold right there because I'm a huge Hannibal fan.
Yeah. Well, did you ever watch
Dead Like Me?
Pushing Daisies?
I didn't watch Pushing Daisies, but I did watch Dead Like Me.
Okay.
So,
You
watched-
should track down Wonder Falls. It was only on a couple seasons or one and a half, something like that. Wonder Falls. It was so amazing. But as soon as the devil on the package of cheesy poofs started talking,
Yeah.
I was like, what? What? First of all, I'm listening on my computer, right?
Yeah.
On the earbuds, and I'm like, what?
where's that coming from?
Right.
Is that a voice in my head?
What the hell? And I was playing my video game on the big screen, and I'm like, where is that coming from? Is something attacking me? What?
I'm inside your head, Karen.
Yeah, but then I was like, oh, okay, it's on there. I get it now. But there's on Wonder Falls. The thing is that a customer, she works at a gift shop in
Mhm.
Niagara Falls, and a customer makes this lion that you could press in a clay thing,
Okay.
and its face is all twisted sideways like
Yeah.
that. And she comes back and gets her money back, and then something happens to the girl behind the counter. I'm not going to go into the whole big thing, but this lion in particular, this lion that she gets in an argument with the woman over bringing it back to try and get her money back, starts talking to her.
Right.
And then things, as she goes through the day, start talking to her, and they say cryptic things that lead her to, solving some sort of thing.
Right. So this is a lot like that.
Very much like it, yes. And it was the same type of voice. It would be like, go to the mattresses. It was the same sort of thing.
Oh, sinister.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and it would be like a monkey sitting on someone's desk saying this or whatever. It was always some sort of creature, like a stuffed animal or...
Well, I think in this episode, the devil was kind of like, like you'd watch the old Looney Tunes cartoons where like Elmer Fudd would be about to do something or Daffy Duck or whatever, and you'd have like the angel on one shoulder.
Yeah, and the devil on the other.
And you'd have the devil version of Daffy on the other shoulder telling him to like do other stuff. And like the devil would usually kick the angel off the shoulder.
Right. That's very much like what it was. Yeah. And I loved it. I mean, I really loved that novel approach. For one thing, the fact that she ate this guy's brains and she got this sort of hallucination was great. Mm-hmm. And then there was this other twist to it, which we'll talk about also, and which I have questions for you about.
What a twist.
Yeah.
There was actually a couple of twists in this episode.
Yeah. So I have to talk to you about those other ones. But the main one with the things on like the mugs and the packages of stuff, that was fantastic. I love that. Very quirky sort of humor was great. I mean,
offbeat, dark humor.
Yeah, and that was a snappy sort of dialogue that I love. So
yeah, Kit Boss is she's easily one of my favorite writers, probably my favorite writer so far on iZombie.
Yeah.
So I look forward. Any future episodes that she happens to write, because thankfully iZombie's coming back for season 2. Yay! In the fall. So
I'm very happy.
We'll get a full season.
Yeah,
as opposed to just 13 episodes.
Weird half season thing.
Stuff. Yeah. But we open with Steve E. Because that's just great, Stevie.
I know. Stevie, and it's not Stevie. It's
Stevie E. Yeah. Being murdered in a mental hospital bathtub.
Yeah.
Which is made to look like a suicide, and nobody's buying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't happy about that at all.
No.
I kind of liked Stevie last week.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he's starting to get interesting because he was trying to tell Major all about the zombies.
Yeah.
At the end of last week's episode.
I know.
And he ends up dead right off the bat.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yep. First Lowell, now Stevie.
I know. Well, Stevie wasn't as big of a heart tug as Lowell. No, I mean, Lowell, seriously.
Still grieving over Lowell?
I will always be upset about Lowell. That was just not right.
Not cool, iZombie. Not cool.
Not cool.
Major tells Liv he was at the boat party massacre. Or, no, I'm sorry. Major tells Liv that Steve E was at the boat party massacre.
Right.
Sorry. And recently regained some of his memory of the event.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently Stevie took some video of the massacre that he supposedly sent to a friend in local news.
Right.
So Liv, of course, since this is iZombie, eats Stevie's brains. And because of all the medication and a little bit of psychosis and whatnot, starts hallucinating a little devil that speaks to her.
Yeah. Well, the little devil is there.
Yeah.
The little devil starts talking. So it's the devil on whatever packaging of her cheesy poofs or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So she starts seeing.
Now, I thought it was funny because they mentioned these cheesy poofs that she's been eating last week.
Right.
So it's kind of cool that they mentioned them last week.
Maybe eventually, like, the Warner Brothers store is going to start selling, like Hellfire cheesy poofs.
Yeah.
'Cause
I
that'd
think
be awesome.
it's very cool that they mentioned
Yeah.
them, and then they became a part of the plot this week.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
very cool.
So they've got their own little, branding
Yep, very
snack
cool.
brand they could play with. So now everybody will be like, when you do your iZombie cosplay, you gotta have to make sure that you have like Hellfire or Cheesy Poofs or
That's
something.
right.
So you have to go to like the local grocery store, get a bag of Cheesy Poofs, and write Hellfire on the bag or something. That
Well,
would be effective with your cosplay.
if you're a real cosplayer, you will actually print the bag.
Right. You'll get
Do
a 3D
the
printer
whole
or something.
thing up. Yes, exactly.
Do it nice.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Suzuki tells Blaine that Liv and Lowell were dating.
Mm-hmm.
So Blaine, of course, is like, that's interesting.
But he does also tell Blaine that she reacted
Badly.
well. I mean, the right way.
Right.
To Lowell being brought in.
By having it declared as a suicide.
Right.
Yeah.
So, he says, I don't think we need to worry about it, but you might want to double check.
Yeah.
So Blaine is not terribly suspicious, but he does go in.
Yeah, he doesn't want to leave anything to chance.
Right.
So he goes to the morgue.
Right.
And he's like, hey, how's that cure for zombieism coming?
Right. And I honestly think at this point, he still thinks that she's innocent of trying to kill him. Don't you think?
I think, he's always suspicious.
Well, sure, but
he's not immediately suspicious
right.
of her.
Well, he's suspicious.
Well, no, I take that back because he is concerned that she might go off and poison him.
Yeah, but she doesn't. So
she doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't, because he makes sure that I guess I'm getting ahead of myself, but a little bit. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm making you do that.
No, that's okay. So yeah, Liv goes off into another room at the morgue to get some chemicals or something. I forget why she goes back there, but there's like this fridge and it's got all these poisons inside.
Mm-hmm.
And she's contemplating like, could I just poison? Oh yeah, like Blaine wanted a glass of wine or something.
No, they had to drink the Max Rager.
Oh, that's it. Yes, thank you.
So she goes to get a Max Rager and she puts it in a glass.
Right.
And we assume she's going to put something bad in it.
Right. So, and Blaine's kind of suspicious about this too because he wants Liv to drink it first.
Right. Well, because it's not in the not in the can.
Bottle.
Right.
Yeah. So he's a little like, but Liv drinks it.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
Which means she didn't put anything in it.
Right. So in a way, that was a good move because that actually made Blaine trust her a little more.
It solidified the fact that she.
Yeah, she could have poisoned him, but didn't.
Right.
But we find out later that Liv is like, well, I wasn't sure what poisons would actually kill a zombie.
Right.
So she didn't want to risk it. Yeah.
I erred on the side of caution.
Yep. Exactly. So instead of poisoning him, she tells Blaine all about the zombie video.
Right. Well, maybe she feels
you could take
like.
Care of it.
Well, maybe she feels like, if you know about it, maybe you'll give something away here. Right. I think that was part of her gambit.
Okay.
Is, did you know about the video?
Mm-hmm.
And, trying to see what his reaction will be.
Could be.
So,
Could be that.
I mean, that was my thought, at least. And I honestly don't think he knew anything about that.
Right.
Now, did he kill him? Yeah, I think he did.
Just a little bit.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so at this point, then this is where the episode really takes off for me. Johnny Frost, who we haven't seen since the pilot episode, played by Darren Norris to perfection.
Yeah.
He's so good in this episode. Hilarious.
I love him.
I mean, I think he could be a character that you could easily overdose on, but
he's so great.
If you just give him little bits here and there, unexpectedly, he could be a really strong addition to the show.
Yeah, I liked he shows up in the morgue, but then later on they go to Stevie E's apartment,
right?
And he says, "Well, this is where my headshot was." And he points to a little blank spot on the wall. Yeah. And you learn later that, he wasn't really his friend, so his headshot wasn't really there on the wall.
Yeah.
Which was hilarious. But and he keeps saying, It's 65 degrees
Right.
and 17
17
degrees
Celsius.
Celsius. The whole thing.
And he's all like, talking with that TV report or weatherman voice.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Hi, everyone.
Here in
I'm
downtown Seattle.
Johnny Frost.
Johnny Frost. Yeah, so it just, he's got the gleaming white teeth and the tan.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
great.
I'm smiling
Guy-
at you for no good reason.
he goes to the morgue to identify Stevie's body,
Mm-hmm.
and then he reveals that Stevie was his pot dealer,
Right.
which right there.
Well,
Now, he was originally in the pilot. He was picked up for solicitation, wasn't he?
right.
So I guess it's not
It's
too far
not
of a stretch.
right. Not at
Yeah.
all. And they already knew that he had a friend
Mm-hmm.
at the TV station. So it could be something that Liv
Maybe
would
Steve-
make a jump
Right.
in her
Maybe
brain.
Stevie sent him the video. But
Well, yeah, in Liv's head, definitely.
yeah. So yeah, Liv and Johnny go to Stevie's apartment to look for the video, but they only find his laptop.
Liv and Johnny.
Johnny with
Yeah,
air quotes.
right.
Because they can't see your air quotes.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping you would say something.
The laser
Beam.
laser beams.
Yeah.
The sharks and their freaking laser beams in their
Freaking
freaking
laser
heads.
beams. Yeah. I love that Johnny is following her around. And
They
through
make a really good team, don't they?
they do. Through the first viewing, of course, I just assumed it was the real Johnny Frost.
Right.
Right? Didn't
Yeah.
you?
Well, you're supposed to.
Right. Well, I'm asking if you did.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the
Well,
second
no,
time.
of course, I figured it out immediately.
Well, no, I wouldn't have doubted it.
Oh no.
So the second time through, I watched it and it was really great. I really saw that, he never touched anything.
Mm-hmm.
He made sure, there was a part where she had to break into the apartment and he stood back
Yep.
the whole time and watched her break into the apartment. And, there's everything is like that. He had to go to the bathroom and she shut the door. He says he has to use the bathroom, but she shuts the door and everything. So, I mean, just every little tiny little
Right.
thing like that is.
It's kind of like that thing in The Sixth Sense
Mhm,
where you find out that Bruce Willis is dead,
mhm.
and then the next time you go back to watch The Sixth Sense, you notice like, hey, he's not touching anything.
Right.
He's not really directly having
Talking to anyone.
conversations with people. And yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's that same thing.
Hmm.
So,
But that one I figured out the first time.
did you?
I did, and it was so funny. I still get crap from this to this day, so because from my wife Lori and one of our friends that we went to go see The Sixth Sense together for the first time, and I figured out that he was dead during the movie, and I'm
Mhm.
like, Bruce Willis is really dead.
Yeah.
That's the twist, and they're like, no, and sure
Uh-oh.
enough, it was revealed.
Oh, no, and they got mad at you.
Yeah,
for
they're
spoiling
like,
it.
oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
So,
But
yeah,
you
they-
get credit, too. I'm sorry. You get credit.
I do get credit, but I also get crap from them. They were like, remember the time when you revealed that Bruce Willis is dead?
Yeah, but
It's
still.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well-
that's a catch-22. You get the credit for figuring it out, but then you get the blame for figuring it out.
Right.
And
I
spoiling.
inadvertently spoiled Secrets and Lies for my husband. The show Secrets and Lies.
Yeah.
I said, it's the little girl. and my,
Don't.
and my
Yeah.
husband was like, come on.
And then it's like, oh crap, you were right.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn it. Yeah.
And spoiler alert, everyone.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah,
little
well,
girl.
a little late for that, but
Come on. It's been
That- I know. That's why I don't feel bad about spoiling The Sixth Sense, because it's
Yeah.
like, how long has it been?
it's
if
been
you're mad
3
at me-
weeks now since Secrets and Lies. So
Yeah,
if you haven't watched the end of it, too bad.
Right. And by the way, a rosebud was a sled. Spoiler warning.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I think 3 weeks is good enough, right?
I would think so.
Okay.
I'd say after the first week. You're
Okay. Okay, good.
Because if you don't watch it in a week, that's on you.
Okay. Good.
That's my spoiler warning limit
Okay.
is a week.
So I don't feel too awfully bad then.
And some people may not agree with that, but
Okay.
and I appreciate that.
Well, Rob, if you don't agree, you can
Yeah.
rub that out.
1 week. That's it. All right. So they're not the only ones looking for that video, as it turns out, because Major breaks into Stevie's apartment to look for the video, and he does it just as Blaine and the Candyman show up looking for the video.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's looking for this damn video.
Yep.
So Blaine and the Candyman decide, well, let's just set the apartment on fire.
Yeah.
Fire! Fire! Fire's cool. Fire's cool.
I need TP for my bunghole.
I am the great Cornholio. I need TP for my bunghole. So yeah, okay. So Beavis and Butthead resets everyone.
Yeah.
Well, they're setting the apartment on fire.
Fire.
Major slips out the window and slips into the trunk of their car.
Yep.
He's like, "Oh, I'm cool spy guy. I'm gonna slip into the trunk of the car." Dun dun
Dun,
dun.
dun, 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 dun.
Yep.
Spy Hunter. It is Spy Hunter because doesn't Spy Hunter go up into the back of the truck? Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, kind
The
of.
video game.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about. Now, of course, what that car ends up back at everybody's favorite zombie lunch place,
Yeah.
Meat Cute.
The meat cute.
Yep. And so Major's connecting the dots.
Mm-hmm. And he
his only
sees
thing-
them putting things together.
Yep. So probably at this point feeling a little more reassured that he's not crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Liv and Johnny using the laptop to find the location of Stevie's phone,
Yep.
which apparently has the video on it.
Right. Your toilet is ringing.
That was great, wasn't it?
Yes.
That was a great moment, yeah.
That line was fantastic.
And the delivery was perfect.
Yes.
The toilet is ringing.
Your toilet is ringing. And she goes and answers it. And she's so happy that all of my Oxycontin is in there. And I mean, the Oxycontin, not mine.
I was going to say, is there something you're not telling us for speaking to the microphone, Karen? Yeah.
Yes, that's right. That was Oxycontin, everyone.
Okay.
Great.
You're going to get harassed by Rush Limbaugh now, looking for it.
Am I? I have an actual real prescription for it.
Because he's an OxyContin addict.
I know he is.
Yeah, so. But anyway, we don't want to get like hate mail from Tea Partiers or whatnot, so.
Yeah, that's true.
We're going to drop that. But the phone, is apparently, they find that phone at the home of one of the orderlies that
Right.
worked at the mental hospital.
Right.
So
The phone, and it's Stevie's phone, and it's got like drugs and all sorts of other stuff in there.
But really all they care about is the phone.
Right.
Yeah.
And that, of course, leads them to this orderly.
Mhm.
They bring the orderly in, and the orderly leads them to the pregnant doctor.
Yep. Yeah, because Stevie's murderer turns out to be that doctor
That's right.
who was using him as a sperm donor.
Right. Gross. Gross. Because her husband
apparently
is like
it was not enough little fishies.
a million years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now Stevie threatened to go public with the affair if she didn't abort the pregnancy.
Right.
So what does she do? She kills him.
Right.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah. Although I think Stevie would have been gone anyway if
Mhm.
Blaine had gotten to him.
That's right. He would have died either way.
Right.
She just got to him first.
Right. That's it.
Because Blaine would have,
Yeah.
Blaine
And I
would've-
like the line from the devil saying that something about the husband was not just shooting blanks, it was dust or something like that. Because just the other night on At Midnight, they made a joke about an old guy
right.
shooting dust, and he went, Do you want it on your face or on your chest? An old guy.
Right.
Anyway, it was hilarious because it was just on another show like that. But anyway,
You're adorable.
who is
You are.
me?
You're adorable.
Oh,
You are.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. What do we got here?
Coffee drugs are the worst.
Yeah. Robbie discovers that the zombie rat has been cured.
I know. That's exciting.
So he's all excited. He's like, I cured it.
I'm excited.
So he's like, I have a template for a cure now.
That's right.
For a really real cure.
Right.
So as long as the zombie rat doesn't turn back into a zombie. Because it just kind of, that would be a little awkward.
I know.
Like it's only a temporary cure.
I know.
Yeah. But to be, at least there's no worry about zombie rat plague now. At the moment.
That's a good thing.
So well done on like staving off the zombie rat apocalypse that you created.
Right. We were worried about that.
We were, and I think we're rightly so.
I think so too.
Because if there would have been all these zombie rats all over,
and then
Robbie's fault,
making them into people.
Yeah.
But I am worried about next week's episode because it is titled "Dead Rat, Live Rat, Brown Rat, White Rat."
Ooh.
And see that
implies that it turns back to a white rat.
I know. I'm not happy about that.
We'll see.
So we will see. And then there's this whole other storyline with Major.
Yeah.
Coming to stay with Liv.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's locked out of Ravi's place.
Yeah. And Liv's all like venting her frustrations to him.
Right.
So Major shuts her up with a kiss.
I know.
He pulls that move. I've pulled that move before.
Have you really? How exciting. That's like a romance novel move. Aren't you smooth?
It's like
my husband's never done that to me.
Just say like, shh.
Oh, see, you're smooth.
Hey.
Way to go.
I'm Johnny Frost.
Way to go, Romeo. Yeah, so he does that, and then she tells him about being a zombie.
Right.
And of course...
he asks her first why they can't be together.
Right, right.
And that leads to her saying, well, that's because there's zombies in the world, and I'm one of them.
Right.
Right.
Right. And then, things go on, and then at the end of the episode, what? That wasn't really him. Okay, so now, here's my question.
Right.
When does the hallucination of Major begin? He shows up and spends the night on the couch. So when she sees him wake up on the couch, that's not him. I'm assuming he woke up already and left.
Right.
Okay.
That would be my guess, or he never got there in the first place.
No, see, I think he showed up because he spoke to Ravi, and Ravi spoke to him.
Okay, so maybe he just left.
Right.
She imagined him after he woke up.
Right. I'm assuming he got up and left.
Yeah.
And then, because he talked about looking for a job at that point.
Right.
And that was the thing that clued her in that wasn't him. When she said, how is the job hunt? And he's like, I don't know. What are you talking about? That must have been someone else. Right. And then, of course, when he comes back and they have that misunderstanding, he says, there are such a thing as zombies and I'm going to kill them all. And she's like, dope. Well, I hope not all of them because...
I'm one, but hello, pale skin. Yeah. Or like, what was that? The devil referred to her as like a mime or something.
Yeah.
That was, I liked that.
Queen of the Mimes or something. It was funny.
It was great. But because Johnny Frost, turns out, was another hallucination.
Yeah.
A delusion from Stevie's brain. Thanks, Stevie.
Yeah.
Liv figures out that because he keeps referring to that weather forecast you said earlier.
Right, right. And then
the 17 degrees Celsius.
16 degrees and 17 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
He says, and that's the key to Stevie's phone.
Yeah, that's the access code.
Right.
So
there she finds the video.
Yeah, the boat video, and she's like, it's footage of her like going nom 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 on someone.
Yeah.
Grazing.
Yeah.
On them like an animal.
Yeah, not good.
That's a little awkward. It's like, maybe I won't post that on YouTube.
Whoops. And she realizes that Johnny is a hallucination when she is talking to him.
Yeah.
In real life.
Right.
And she looks on the TV and he's live on TV.
Right.
And then she looks back at him and he shrugs his shoulders and then he kind of blips out of existence.
So he wasn't really there.
Right. Not
ever.
Not
I don't
ever.
think he was there ever.
No, I don't think so either. She said he must not have been his friend. It must have been Stevie leading me around the whole time.
Which is a shame because they were such a great pair.
I know.
Driving around and breaking in the apartment.
I know.
And whatnot. So we want Johnny Frost to return.
Yeah, the Liv and Johnny show. That would have been great.
I like Liv and Johnny much better than Liv and Clive.
Yeah, me too.
So, iZombie writers, you're on notice.
Yeah.
So, what did you give this episode?
I gave it 8 cured rats.
8 cured rats. I, of course, had to give it 8.5. So we're kind of sort of close here.
Yeah.
Out of 10 bags of Hellfire Cheesy Poos. Or Puffs. Really. It's called Hellfire Cheesy with a Z.
Yeah. Cheesy Poos.
But they're cheesy poos.
Cheesy Poos.
Piss. Oh my god, just
oh my god, cheesy Poos.
I can't eat another bite, you guys.
I can't eat another bite, you guys.
Man, can you Man. Sorry. Just carping regressions from South Park. Yeah, we just slide.
Nah, kitty.
All right.
Okay,
so
get out of the car.
So look at that. We covered 2 shows in 1 hour and 15 minutes. That's pretty good for us. Woo!
Yeah, well, we did pad a little bit.
Yeah.
We could have taken it down. And I did have those questions to ask you about the Astroburger thing.
Did I answer all your questions?
Yeah, it was mostly the Major thing.
Yeah.
I was wondering when Major was real and when he wasn't.
See, but I kind of like that, the fact that, okay, they gave you the twist of like Johnny Frost not being real.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a hallucination, but then they flipped it again and is like, oh, Major was another hallucination.
Right. And you weren't expecting either of them.
Nope.
I know.
Suckered you in once and then they suckered you in
a
second time and you didn't see it coming.
I didn't see it coming either time.
Yep. So,
I know, it was great.
So that was a pretty innovative script.
And the thing that got me was that Johnny Frost didn't touch anything.
Mm-hmm.
But Major was so real. Now, mind you, she had experience with kissing Major.
Right.
So she knew what it felt like.
Right.
But Major actually did interact with her.
It's kind of like if you daydreamed it or
right,
like had, like a regular dream about it.
So she knows what it feels like to kiss Major, so she could have that hallucination.
Yep.
But, she didn't know what it felt like to touch Johnny Frost, so.
Even though she was obviously fantasizing about Johnny Frost.
Well.
So I'm waiting for all the Liv Johnny Frost fanfic.
Ugh. Hi, Liv. I'd like to say that you're looking quite well tonight.
The temperature is...
Your temperature is 0.0.
Steadily rising.
That's right.
Okay. Oh, that's too funny. All right. So do we have any feedback?
We do.
Give us some feedback.
Well, Maggie had a comment for us on Facebook.
Okay.
And it was an interesting one about Daredevil.
Okay.
Where she says, Fisk and Murdoch, 2 sides of the same coin. Mm-hmm. Fisk looks in a mirror and sees his guilt. It's always there. He's still that kid who had to save his mom. Matt has the same guilt over his dad's death, and they both have anger issues. And we thought that was very insightful.
That is a very good observation on Maggie's part.
Yep. And especially in this episode where we saw Matt with the bandages that looked like boxing injuries.
Yeah, right.
And then the whole thing with Fisk being like his dad. So it was very much a mirror of their fathers. So
a twisted reflection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a bit of Gotham news, which I guess we'll post it on our Facebook page. Yeah.
Yeah, we could just talk about it here. It's not much.
Okay. So they've casted a couple of villains. First is a male villain described as intelligent, cultured, and highly articulate.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think that might be?
It could be anybody, really. Mm-hmm. Now they've done, we've kind of had the Bs, although we haven't. Let's see who's really missing so far. We haven't gotten Hugo Strange.
Mm-mm.
Professor Hugo Strange. There's the Mad Hatter, although I kind of think that Jeremy is the Mad Hatter, even though you're supposed to think he's the Joker.
Yeah.
That's my theory, because I think Jeremy is version of Jervis.
Mm,
Jervis
yeah,
Tetch is the real name for the Mad Hatter. So,
right.
but it could be anybody.
Okay, and he's also extremely attractive, both seductive and threatening.
Well, obviously it's me. No,
And
obviously.
you're gonna kiss
Line.
okay, what's his name? I say his name all the time when I'm talking to my husband. Bullock, to shut him up. But what's his real name?
Oh, the actor?
Yeah, Donald Logue.
Donald Logue, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
The second is a female villain in her mid to late 20s, described as a sexy knockout. No further information on the roles is available.
Yep.
Talia? No, she's not alive yet.
No. Yeah, I think these are going to be characters that are just invented for the show.
Okay, side characters.
Like the ogre.
Okay.
Maybe it's more of that. I don't know.
Okay.
I hope it's something from the comics.
And who were made regulars?
Chris Chalk, who plays Lucius Fox.
Yep.
He's going to be a regular, which makes sense because now that Bruce has sort of an ally that he may know at Wayne Enterprises.
So he has his Batcave and his posse.
Right. And then I forget the actor's name, but he plays Harvey Dent.
Yes.
The future Two-Face.
Yeah.
He's now a regular as well. So maybe we'll get, some indication as we get to see Harvey steadily advancing toward eventually becoming DA.
Yes. Yay.
And then eventually getting acid thrown in his face, but I'm sure we're not going to see that for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if ever.
Nick DeGusto.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So they're regulars now.
Yes.
And I think also Marina Baccarin's a regular, although I don't.
She was promoted to a series regular for the second season.
Right.
Yes.
So so we're seeing more of Leslie, which is good.
Yeah. So I guess she's going to be the steady.
Yeah. More Leslie, less Barbara is a good thing.
Agreed.
So let's just leave. Yeah. Let's just leave Barbara in Arkham Asylum and throw away the key.
Agreed.
That's my take.
Yeah, I'm in for that.
Anything else?
I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else?
It's been kind of a quiet week.
Nope. And I have already posted your photo on Facebook, by the way. Yeah. There's already likes.
How many people have dropped from our account now?
None.
Okay.
2 likes already of your picture.
Okay. Well, enjoy, people.
Yeah. They like it.
All right. So I guess that'll about do it as we actually break the 1 hour, 30-minute mark. Woo! Huzzah.
Huzzah.
Progress.
So how can they get in touch with us?
Yeah. Well, obviously they can get in touch with us at Fandom Zone Cast on Twitter, or they can get in touch with us on the Facebook or at fandomzonecast@gmail.com.
Yes. And on Facebook it is /Fandom Zone Podcast.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Because I'm trying to remember this from memory, so
I know I have it in front of me.
Apologies.
I have it in front of me.
Okay.
That's why I have my cheat sheet.
Where can they find you?
At Oliveria on Twitter. And all my links are there, and an About Me link in my bio.
Right.
Because I don't say them all. If I said them all, we would be here for another hour.
Okay. So, and we could do it too, but we won't.
No. Yeah. We will not.
I would like to add that we definitely need some more likes on Facebook.
Yes, please.
We just hit 40.
Ooh, tell your friends.
Yeah, we need a little bit more than that. We'd at least get up to 50.
Yes, please do.
10 more to get to 50.
Yes.
I feel like a telethon guy.
Tell your friends.
Come on. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell whomever.
That's right.
Tell your supernatural demons, tell, the accountants and some law or some corporate firm somewhere, tell whomever. Aspiring supervillains.
Sure.
Mob guys.
That's right.
Raise the dead, whatever it takes.
All of those things.
Yeah. And for me, they can find me at Charles Skaggs on Twitter. And I'm also on Instagram and Facebook and Google Plus for all you crazy kids on the Google Plus,
That's right.
and my blog of geeky things, Damn Good Coffee and Hot, where I'll be talking about all kinds of TV show stuff, Fandom Zone podcast stuff, and all kinds of nifty things. So I hope you check it out.
Yay.
Yay. So I guess that about does it
Yeah.
for this week. All right.
I'm very happy about that.
Thanks again. Thanks to everybody who listens and supports the podcast. I really want to thank everybody that's given us these wonderful feedback. And I guess we will see you guys again next week.